Hello everybody and welcome to Less Loved. Last week we took a look at Hardlight. If you for some reason missed that video, you can go ahead and click the annotation on screen or check the description box for a link to that video. And of course I asked you which exotic you would like me to cover in this video, and it was almost a complete draw between Bad Juju, Universal Remote, and No Land Beyond. So I basically had a choice of which one I wanted to pick, and I went ahead and picked Universal Remote, which is actually my newest exotic to my collection. So I thought it would be interesting to use it and hopefully find out what's so awesome about it. So we're gonna go ahead and show some love to Universal Remote. So Universal Remote is a primary shotgun, so you're actually able to use another special weapon whilst also running around with a shotgun. So when it comes to the scopes, I guess they're called, I like to use the second one, which increases Universal Remote's range. It also comes with crowd control, which makes it to where every time you kill someone, you're gonna do bonus damage for a short period of time, which is always awesome. Now in the second column, I like to choose the first option, which gives you increased range and accuracy. And then of course you have the Universal Remote perk, which makes it to when every time you aim down sights, you increase your precision damage and you increase your range. So now that I've shown you guys how I like to set up my Universal Remote, let's get into some gameplay and talk about why we love it so much. So I actually only got Universal Remote about 2 weeks ago, and as soon as I got it, I got set in the mindset of making it work and figuring out how to make it awesome, because I'd actually been looking forward to getting it for quite a long time. And what I soon discovered is that in order to appreciate Universal Remote, you have to become one with the gun. You have to understand its weaknesses, and like a true partnership, you have to make up for its weaknesses. So I like to use a sniper rifle when I'm using Universal Remote, because then I'm effective at range. I'm also effective at close range. Medium is a little bit of a problem, but we just make sure that we don't get into medium range gunfights. That's how you win the game. You always have to play to the advantages of Universal Remote. So quickly, what I found out, what is so great about Universal Remote is that it has a much higher range than other shotguns. And of course, this is largely down to the fact that when you aim down sights, you are increasing the effective range of Universal Remote. So I found that a lot of the time, instead of getting kill trades like I usually would with other shotguns, I was able to kill them before they got to me because I had the remote, and the remote has a better range than your shotgun. Another advantage that you would definitely have to use Universal Remote to really figure out that it's a thing is that when people see you sniping, they assume that you don't have a shotgun, because why would you have a shotgun? You can't have a sniper rifle and a shotgun, and no one uses Universal Remote, so why would you have a shotgun? So a lot of the time people will run at you and not expect for you to be able to take them out. Actually, a lot better than they're able to take you out with their shotgun. I found that happen a lot. It happens so frequently that someone just came running at me and they expected me to be completely defenseless because they saw that I was sniping, and then I'm like, boom, I have the remote, which is better than your shotgun. And it's the truth, it is. It's not better when you first get it. It's definitely one of those exotics that you have to level up all the way. You need the Universal Remote perk in order for this shotgun to actually be good. But when you do get that perk, it's better than other shotguns. It has better range. And now that we've learned about a bigger nerf coming to shotguns, and also the fact that Bungie are trying to limit the amount of special ammo that we have, I think that Universal Remote is actually going to have a place in the Crucible, because think about this. If Bungie is to limit our availability of special ammo even more so than they're doing now, which actually seems like they're on a road to doing that, people aren't going to be able to run around with shotguns because it's not going to be available for them to do so. And now imagine that you're running around with Universal Remote because it's a primary and you're going to have ammo for a primary, and you're just running up to people who don't have ammo in their shotgun. That's going to be awesome. Of course, it's just a theory that that's going to be happening, but if it does, Universal Remote is going to have a place for sure. Now, another really positive thing about Universal Remote is that it is a freaking king amongst kings of gods and goddesses when it comes to Rumble. Shotguns are always mostly used in Rumble, like most people just run around with shotguns, and Universal Remote is a better shotgun. And this gameplay that I'm showing you right now is actually a perfect example of that, because I just completely annihilated people, and they were also running around with shotguns. Some people were using fusion rifles, and mine just reigned victorious over theirs. And truthfully, honestly, like, I'm not just saying this because it's less loved and we have to show love, I would just use Universal Remote in Rumble. There's no reason for me to use anything else. If someone is far away, I can snipe them. If someone is really close, which they are most of the time when it comes to Rumble, then I'm just gonna shoot them with Universal Remote. It's just awesome. There's no reason for me to use anything else because it's so good in Rumble. In Control, it's also really good because you can just hang around capture points if you don't want to ever have to switch to your sniper or a fusion rifle, whatever you're using as your secondary. You can just hang around capture points and just completely own people's faces with your Universal Remote, because like I said, it's a better shotgun. And it's true, it really is. And that's also why I use the perk on it to make all of its range better. I use everything on Universal Remote to make its range better, because that way when it comes to the shotgun gunfights, which are they even a thing? They are a thing when you use Universal Remote, you're gonna mostly win them. There's sometimes that you don't, but for the most part you're gonna win them because you have way better range than any secondary shotgun, and that's just a fact. So after using Universal Remote pretty much every day since I got it, I've come to the conclusion that it's actually a perfectly viable weapon. It does not suck. It's not a piece of junk. It is a beast, like the description says. You just have to love the gun. You have to be like, Remote, I love you, I appreciate you for who you are, and I understand your weaknesses. And as your partner in crime and murder, I'm gonna make up for your weaknesses. And of course the weaknesses is that you cannot have an across the map gunfight with Universal Remote, so you use a sniper rifle. That's all you have to do. You just have to make up for any weaknesses that it has, and I guarantee you that you will actually find it very rewarding and very fun to use Universal Remote. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Universal Remote, we love you and we appreciate you. Please do make sure to leave in the comment section which exotic you would like me to cover next week, and please don't choose No Land Beyond. Just kidding, you can choose it. I'll find a way to love it. Okay guys, I'll speak to you later. Bye.